Should be coming up. Sound good, man. Yeah, that gun was nice. Good job on that. It's 12. Yeah. Cool. Lock that down, man. Kept looking good. Especially on camera. Man, finna hop on this thing. Put a new mouse here. Computer code. That right there. Go live on Facebook here. So, yeah. Shalom, Israel. It's the I.S.U.P.K. out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, and the commander during YAHANNA. This is our Tuesday class, evening class. This is Officer in the SHALAM. We're about to get it in, man. Start talking about this war in heaven. A lot of preachers don't like. Okay. I know a lot of preachers. Not up on Facebook. Probably acted up. In 1 second, YouTube, man. About to put this together. It's back up now? That's gonna go out. I'm gonna go back up. Okay. All right. Right. Let's try this again. I ain't gonna say all that again because I'm on YouTube, so we should be straight. Hold on a second. All right, here we go. We should be up live. We good? All right, man. It's like I was saying, man, I've been noticing and hearing a lot of times, preachers always want to say, and you know, when I say preachers, man, I'm talking about, of course, Christian churches and all these other churches that have been originated by the Roman Catholic Church. So what happens is a lot of times, man, they take the scriptures, man, and they twist them, and you know how they always do. They twist them, use them for what they want to use them for, or say, or what they've been ordered to tell, like what the Roman Catholic Church does with a lot of these preachers and where we at down south in the Bible Belt and other places like that. They actually teach this like mythical, like I want to say, kind of like what the Greeks did, like Greek philosophy, like almost like it's somebody like wrote a story thing where it's like Satan against God, you know what I mean? And so then they come up with this war in heaven thing where, for one, like me and Troop and Laquan was talking about earlier, man. We were talking about before we actually started class. They don't even really know the answer to a lot of revelation. They really be just guessing. They don't understand the metaphors. They don't understand the true meaning. They don't even know the spirit of the Bible. They don't even think that the Bible was written and done by black people. You know, it's like it's black, the way black people talk back then, the same way they talk now. They don't even understand that concept. So in saying that, a brother had a question about actually Revelations 20:1, where it goes into the actual first resurrection, second resurrection, you know, and when you go to a preacher and you ask them even about that, they'll make things up, or they'll tell you straight up. I've had plenty of preachers tell me, even when I used to be in the Christian church, I used to be in the Christian church, man, like most of my life. And I would have questions for them, and most of the time they couldn't even have no answers. And one person even told me that, well, we don't know everything about the Bible. Nobody knows everything about the Bible. That's why you have to study. I'm like, wow. So I got to study, but if I'm studying it and I don't know it, and I come to you and you don't know it, then how am I going to get the answer?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They the biggest hypocrites on the planet. But we're going to talk about the war in heaven, which starts with Revelations 12:1. We're going to get into that, break that down to where people can understand the truth about what the Bible is saying. And also, we're going to go to Revelations 20:1 to answer the brother's question from last week, because he was really wondering. I say it's a mystery book. Yeah, true that, you got this out. They say it's a mystery book. Yeah, because he kind of had a question about the 1,000 years thing, which, you know, in that time frame, we're really talking about dark ages. All right. So let's go to Revelations 12:1 first. We're gonna talk about the war of heaven. And after we cover these subjects, I'm gonna get into a situation that happened here in Nashville, man, that we should understand the reason why we need to keep our children and take care of them ourselves.
Wow.
Even if these children, even if a mother or a father can't take care of their child, us as a nation needs to take care of their child.
Wow.
And make sure their child will be okay, and get the truth of the Bible and understand the wisdom of the Bible and understand who he or she is supposed to be, and guarantee that that child will not be left in a damn car that's 90 degrees outside and 130 degrees inside, and the baby sits there and basically bakes to death.
Right.
We're gonna get into that last part of the class, because I feel like that's really important. You understand? We need to take care of our own. But yeah, let's Troop McQuarrie, if you could get Revelations 12:1, and we'll start breaking that down.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 1. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven.
A what?
A great wonder in heaven.
Keep going.
A woman clothed with the sun.
Now, what is the Bible saying? Do you know, Troop McQuarrie, what it's talking about when it says a woman clothed with the sun?
Salah. The woman will be the children of Israel.
No. And let me say this too. In Revelations, you gotta realize they visions, full of metaphors. Nothing's necessarily in order. You know, John Revelator is just having, like, who has dreams in order? Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So when you have a dream, it's sporadic. It's here and there, you know, in different phases of time. And I'm gonna break this down, man. I'm not, because this is very difficult, man. So if you can take notes on this, make sure you do, and put them in your precept book. Go ahead.
is the woman a reference to
Now, what I want you and get this, when I'm saying the woman, a woman clothed with the sun, all that together. What do you think that means? I mean, it's not easy. It's not easy to understand. But try your best.
woman clothed with the sun.
Mm-hmm. You know, okay, come, man. Because first time I heard this, I was like, hell no. I don't know what that means. A woman clothed in the sun in this verse means it means full of wisdom. Okay, so anytime the Bible is saying that, it means full of wisdom. And keep going.
And the moon under her feet.
What would that be referring to? Mm-hmm.
Would it be understand?
There you go. There you go. All right. So keep going, Salak.
And upon her feet, her head a crown of 12 stars.
What will we be talking about here? Think about it for a second. Now think about it. Well, what did it say again?
Her head a crown of 12 stars.
12 stars.
So would that be okay? Stars.
I'll give you a clue. Think about the 12.
12 would be. I'm thinking 12 tribes.
That's what it is. That crown of stars. They're talking about the 12 tribes of Israel. All right. Keep reading. Verse 2.
And she being verse 2. And she being with child, cried, travailing in birth, and pain to be delivered.
Now it's talking about she's being with child and cried and travailing in birth. You know, just like how a woman she's struggling in birth. That's brothers and sisters having to be strong, and they struggling through this life that we're going through. All right. So you gotta remember, in verse 12 and 1, we talking about the full wisdom. When it's talking about the clothing of the sun, it's the full wisdom that she has. Then when it says the moon under her feet, is the understanding. Then when it's talking about the crown of 12 stars, it's talking about the 12 tribes of Israel. All right? Right. And when it's talking about the woman, and these are metaphors, okay? So when it's talking about the woman and she's being with child, crying, travailing in birth, and pain to be delivered, it's just the struggles that brothers and sisters are going through right now under this, captivity. All right, let's hit 3.
Verse 3. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon.
Now, what does, I know you should know this. What is he talking about when it says the great red dragon?
The great red dragon would be the armies of Esau.
So, right. Now, Esau or the armies of Esau. Yeah, that's right. Now, how could a person that, let's say they had a little knowledge in the Bible, how could they refer to somewhere else in the Bible to understand that the dragon is Esau and his armies? What kind of gives you a hint of it?
Would be the Esau being red. Genesis 25.
That's not what I'm looking for. I'm not gonna completely say no, but it's not what I'm looking for. But it's kind of like, how do you say? I give you it's kind of like, okay, what would something be before it was a dragon? What's a word the Bible uses before? What's another metaphor in Genesis that the Bible uses to explain the white man? It's more like the spirit of it.
The serpent.
The serpent. Okay? So just like it was the serpent in Genesis, and it was the spirit of the white man. Now he didn't, you kind of see him as the dragon now. Now he's the dragon. Now I can't remember the exact verse, but also I think in Revelation it refers to the dragon as spitting fire or flames and looked at like it's a miracle. Because when it's talking about the dragon, what other, of course, the army of Esau, or the white man, what other race, now let me say it like this the way you can answer. What do people marvel at that the white man does as far as the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, and Marines? Like, what do people marvel at? Like, what is he like to dominate the most? As far as warfare.
His efforts.
Yeah, exactly. He loves to conquer the sky. The first thing he gonna do, he's not gonna just always send ground troops on.
Right.
He's gonna send drones. He's gonna send bombs. He can bomb you like from a drone, and he's looking at it on computer. You know what I mean? Right. So, just to give you kind of like a picture, which a preacher could not do, of course, to give you a picture of how the dragon is referred to as Esau's, the white man's army. Keep reading. Sorry.
Verse 3, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his head.
Now, what would the 7 heads and 10 horns be talking
about? 7 heads would be 7 empires.
What kind?
7 white man's empires.
Yeah, but which one in particular? Because he's been called many.
Okay.
This is kind of important.
Like the okay, would it be the like our captivities and stuff that would be like the Babylon and empire?
Well, it's like no, I'm gonna make you answer this.
Okay.
I ain't gonna give you this. Right. I ain't gonna be that nice. Right. Okay. Think about what is the most dominating empire that besides the Babylonian Empire, they dominated pretty well. What was the next like biggest army that almost like tried to take over the whole world?
Persian Mede. Okay, well
it was bigger than
the Greek.
Bigger than
the
Greek lost to these cats.
The Romans.
So it's the Roman Empire that this talking about. Do you have them 7 heads?
The 7 heads.
I just want to check and make sure. If you ain't got them, I'm going to give them to you. It's 7 heads. 10 horns too. Yeah. 7 heads and 10 horns. I want to do that. Got that jump? That's right, Yatazak Rome. There you go. She been studying.
7 heads would be
yeah.
12.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you talking about 13 and 1? If I'm not mistaken, I think it's the same one. It's the same one.
Okay, well, I got the same one.
Well, I break down the Roman Empire. If you got them, go ahead and say it. Like Italy and Spain.
Italy, Spain, one is Belgium.
Now that's the horns. Well, I'll break it down.
Okay,
I'll break it down. Now the 7 heads is because also it's in Revelation 13. The 7 heads is Italy, Spain, England, Russia, France, Portugal, and Germany. Right, so I'm sure you got them, right? Okay. Now the 10 horns is Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg, Denmark, Ireland, Switzerland, Australia, the U.S., Sweden, and Scotland. And I think they're also known as the common markets. All right, and this was a and this was the ruling tribe of Esau, and you know they ruling right now. Okay, yeah, keep reading. Go ahead to verse 4.
Verse 4.
And if anybody needs me to repeat that, man, please just put it in the chat, and I'll repeat that again. Go ahead.
Verse 4. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven.
Man, we talking about the tail of the dragon. So that means, so according to what preachers say, since it was this big battle in heaven, and you know, they say Satan went against, because he's supposed to be the dragon according to them, and he's supposed to have gone against God. So then he's got this big tail waving in the stars. It's just that big.
Right.
Now let's see what this really is talking about. Now, his tail would be what? Do you know?
Yeah.
And let me ask you like this. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth, and the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. Now, let me ask you this. In this scripture, what is going, like, what do you think is going on? Just let's look at the first part of it.
Tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven.
Now, what did we say the stars were when we go? Because see, we don't go back on what we said. So what did we learn that the stars were in Revelations 12:1? The crown stars, the crown. What is it?
The crown of 12 stars.
Crown of 12 stars.
With the crown of 12 stars, the stars of heaven would be the children of Israel.
Okay, that's the children of Israel. So then when we go down to 4, and it says his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. What would that mean?
That would mean he brought them to a low state.
There you go. So he defeated them and brought them to brought them to what? What do we call it? According to the scriptures, what do we call a low state?
The dust.
Yeah, but what do we call it when you're in poverty and you're in captivity? To him. Exactly. So now we know that it brought us down into poverty, into hell. And when we talk about it's the dragon's tail, and we know that's Esau. His oppression has brought us down, right? Okay, so now let's go further to that scripture, and it says, "And the woman, cast into the earth, and the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered." Now, what would that be? Because so far the woman is representing wisdom, understanding. Now, I got 2 questions for you. What is the dragon that's standing in front of the woman, and who is she delivering?
So the dragon is standing before the woman.
Right. So who is the dragon at this time?
It's Esau.
Okay. Now, exactly who? Let's be specific. Like go ahead.
That would be the white man.
Right. Who specifically? What empire did we say was coming?
The Roman.
The Roman Empire. So now we know it's the Roman Catholic Church. Standing in front of, it said the woman, right?
Right. Standing in front of wisdom and knowledge.
Right. That is ours. So she's trying to be delivered. I'm gonna let him get that. Let me break it down a little bit. So, okay, now we just figured out that let's look in verse 4. The woman which was ready to be delivered. Okay, and the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered. Now the dragon is the Roman Catholic Church. And the Roman Catholic Church, instead, Shalom, how about that? And the woman is standing, it's like the dragon is standing in front of the woman, meaning that the Roman Catholic Church is trying its best to keep the Lord's people from the Bible, from the truth of the Bible.
Right.
That's what this is talking about. This ain't talking about no crazy dragon actually standing in front of a woman and she's like stop, you can't pass here. No, this ain't no Dragon Ball Z type stuff right here. These are metaphors, and you have to understand and be taught the truth of the Bible from the I.S.U.P.K to understand these scriptures. So pay close attention to what we say. So now we know that the Roman Catholic Church is standing in front of the woman, or is trying to keep the Israelites from gaining the knowledge of the truth, right?
Right.
So now you have to understand the Roman Catholic Church is the true enemy of the Israelites. So let's read, now that we know what's going on there, let's read further after delivery. And again, we on Revelations 12 and 4. And we're breaking each scripture down so we can understand what the true meaning of the war in heaven is. All right? Right. And then we're going to get to your question from last week after this. Yeah, we got you. But yeah, go ahead,
To devour her child as soon as it was born.
Okay, read that whole scripture one more time so everybody can get it.
Revelations chapter 12, verse 4. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born.
Now, who is the child of this woman to be delivered? Think about it. So far, we see the Roman Catholic Church trying to keep the truth from the Israelites. If he's trying to keep the truth from the Israelites, why is he trying to keep it from us?
To keep power in his hand.
True, very true. What can take his power? Of course, us coming together.
Knowledge and wisdom and understanding.
But what is the key? I'm finna get to what I'm saying. What's the key?
YAHANNA.
Christ. There you go. So what we talking about when this child? Read that part again.
For to devour her child as soon as it was born.
Of course, the Roman Catholic Church wants to eliminate Christ. They want to put Caesar Borgia in your face.
Right.
They that's their form of crucifying Christ. They don't want you to have your king, but they can't stop that.
Right.
We have the truth. But you see how so far what we're getting into, this is a spiritual battle. This isn't an actual war going on. Well, I don't say that, like as far as Rome and how they put us in captivity. Of course, yes, it is. That was an actual thing they did to us. You know what I'm saying, physical. But as far as when it's talking about the woman and her, the dragon standing before her, we talking about a spiritual battle. We talking about the Roman Catholic Church, all the lies they told, Thomas Aquinas, Dante's Inferno, you name it. They've done everything they can to keep the 12 tribes from learning who they truly are. All right, let's go to verse 12. Verse 5.
Verse 5. And she brought forth a man child, who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron.
Now let's stop right there. What is that telling us? She brought a man child. She brought forth a man child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron.
It's like that Christ was coming to rule, and he meant business.
So what does it mean? I ain't gonna let y'all think. You know, you come class every week. Nah. Tell me specifically, what's it mean for Christ? And you there. What's it mean for Christ to rule with a rod of iron?
Christ he's going to be stern. He's going to be stern when he rules.
Talk to me like I'm just a cat on the street. I don't know all the words and stuff. Like, what do you mean stern? What that mean?
Christ is going to come and
I got you.
He's going to come and come to kill.
He come to kill, but he ruling first. I mean, he ruling too, Salah. He's going to kill, but he ruling too. So if you ruling, they alive.
So, and he come to put him in bondage.
Right? But how? You got it up? Okay, what's up?
He comes with those who led to captivity back into captivity.
Right.
And I think 16 is going to be a fisher of men, then you turn those fisher into hunters of men. By moving iron fist, and you're going to street by the laws, and those who like fly and determine.
True. But
moving an iron fist, extremely strict discipline.
That's what I want. Yeah, strong arm, vigor. You know what I mean? Like it ain't. He's not playing. There ain't no. Oh, I'm tired. No, ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Real hardcore with it. You know what I mean? So remember that when you're trying to break them scriptures down to people. One thing we got to do is understand how to talk to people and break it down to them as if they were a child, or if they were a child. You know what I'm saying? So, but you was right, and you that was good in detail. You don't break scriptures down in detail. Let's keep. Did we finish that? No, keep reading. It's like.
And she brought forth verse 5. And she brought forth a man child to rule. Brought forth a man child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. And her child was caught up to God and to his throne.
What does that mean? Her child was caught up unto God to his throne.
Just talking about the resurrection.
Yeah, but go deeper.
Most High called him up.
What was the resurrection for?
So he could sit on the throne of David.
Right, but he had to do what? Before he passed, what did he do? Before he resurrected, what did he do? What was he here for?
He was here to say the truth.
By doing. You know.
He didn't say the truth. I mean.
How did he? But how did he do that? What we doing right now is preach. Right, teach, work. He did the work of the Most High. Did that work, resurrect, go sit on the throne. Right? On the right hand of the throne. Keep reading.
Verse 6. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she had the place prepared of the vow.
Okay. Well, go ahead and read that whole thing.
That they should feed her there 1,260 days.
Okay. Read that scripture one more time.
And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she had the place prepared of God, that they should feed her there 1,260 days.
So what's this talking about? Okay. Let me break this down, y'all. Okay, this right here. And the woman fled into the wilderness. Why would she have to flee? Y'all remember me? Right. Now we talking about, and we saying her, we talking about Israel, right? I mean Salaki, we talking about Israel. I don't want to miss that other class. We talking about Israel. So what we talking about basically, man, is when the Romans came and put us into captivity in 70 AD. All right. And when they did that, that's when we went to captivity, and that's when some of us fled to the west part of Africa, and hid, you know what I mean? And we was in the wilderness, so to speak, for and when it says, what did it say? It said there are 1,203 days. That just means a short period of time. And then from that point, that's when we were shipped to America. All right. So now let's go to verse 7. Read 7.
Verse 7.
Now let me say this too. Here we go, right here. Here is where the preacher steps in and starts painting the picture of this mystical fight in the clouds. All right.
Verse 7. And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon.
This is where the part where the dude starts playing the organ. You know, the band starts playing a little bit. They might have a jumbotron behind them. They start showing little videos and little pictures and stuff. Showing Michael with like some kind of spear or something. Yeah, white Michael. You know what I mean? Everybody in there white. So I just want to say that because this is how they paint it. This is how they paint it. But we finna learn the truth of it. Go ahead.
And his angels fought against the dragon. And the dragon fought against his angels.
Now, Aki, please tell me what's going on here. Or at least give me from the scriptures that we've been reading.
Right.
You're learning the spirit of it. You're learning that it ain't this doctored up battle in the clouds. We breaking these scriptures down. You're learning the spirit of these scriptures. So based on what you know, what do you think this is talking
about? I'm thinking SHALAM.
If you don't know, that's fine. That's a good answer too.
I'm thinking that this is talking about the Most High fighting against the armies of Esau.
He's very close. You said the Most High fighting against the armies of Esau.
Right.
That's very close.
I would say, I don't know, Most High doesn't do anything in the sense it's ancient during that form. But the dragon was supposed to be in Esau's jets on the spaceships, as they call it the dragon.
Well, when you say the dragon, you won't think of his army or him. You know, that's Esau's army, which is true. Go ahead.
So, like, fighter jets is military,
Mm-hmm.
they went to the opposite of the stars to either prolong their existence or to try to take on the Most High. So they'll be the ones who are stupid enough to try to fight the Most High. So the other point, the Most High told us not to touch Esau himself for himself.
Mm-hmm. But at this period, because like you was touching on a couple different subjects.
Oh, my bad.
No, that's cool. It's like you starting to get the knowledge. That's cool. But this specific scripture, when it's saying Michael and his angels, it's talking about Israel. It's talking about Michael as an angel, meaning that like the Lord has messengers that he sends, and we the angels. Well, go ahead, go and say it then.
That's what it just hit me.
Okay, I'm gonna say you got it though.
Yeah,
because you were saying that, but you understand it.
We his angels, we the angels that they're talking about.
Right.
Right here, we fight against Esau, Esau's army.
That's right. Most High ain't got to do nothing. You know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying?
So would that be a part of the 4,000?
No, not yet. Not yet. We gonna hit that too. There's a vision in I think Revelation 14. It talks about that. This specifically ain't talking about that. You know what I'm saying? It's talking about the war that's basically going on right now. It's about to pop off too. You know what I'm saying?
So would this be like some of us who were chosen to fight?
No, it's just talking about Israel as a whole, as a nation. You know how we're battling against them now. You know what I'm saying? You're getting killed in the street now, fighting against them right now. Fought against them during captivity. You know what I'm saying? But we have to understand that this isn't an actual physical battle happening in the clouds. This was these metaphors to help you understand the spiritual battle that's going on with us and Esau. That's what just about this whole book is about. You know what I'm saying? Jacob and Esau. You look in the world, that's what it's really about. Jacob and Esau. The lineage of Esau going against Israel. Every aspect you look at all the killing going on now, the oppressing now. I mean, from Guatemala to Colombia to man, you go all the way to Canada. You seen them people getting oppressed, them your people. When you dig and find out their identity. You know what I'm saying? So basically, this is Michael and the Israelites, the white man, and the Roman Catholic Church. That's what you look at. Right? All right. It's again spiritual battle. All right, that's the spirit of these scriptures. All right, man. Let me see if I wanted to hit. Yeah, let's go hit 8. We're gonna hit and stop on 9.
Yeah. And verse 8, and prevailed not. Neither was there found place, Salaka, neither was there place found any more in heaven.
Say that again.
And prevailed not. Neither was there place found any more in heaven.
And now what does this tell us?
Salaka. It's telling us that they didn't win the fight and that they were brought down from their high place that they was in.
There you go. And what happened? What's the last part it said?
It said, neither was there place found any more in heaven.
Meaning that they ain't gonna rule no more. After this battle, if Christ comes, remember we was talking about how Christ is gonna come and he's gonna have rulership. After this spiritual battle we've been going through for so long, man, and Christ finally comes, and he does the annihilators like your big brother coming, and you've been getting bullied all this time, and your big brother comes, and he like, man, sit back, man, I got it. I'll let you get a couple of licks. He come in there and annihilate him, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, after that, they don't rule no more. They don't rule no more, and eventually they're gonna die off. Like I don't want Officer Yagard Wap in DC, I think he always say, one day your children are gonna look in the museum and see a white man like this.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, Daddy, they was in rulership over here. Yeah, right. They gonna be rolling at you, you know what I mean? Right. But it's gonna be true. Because their time is short, man. Especially now. If you're looking at the news and what's going on, you look at how they look, and I always say this, but you look at how they little teenage boys are shooting up schools everywhere. Right. For once in this white man's life, he is terrified. He's terrified for his kids to go to school. Right. He don't know if they're gonna make it home. Right. Sound familiar? That's how we feel. Dude. All right. So let's hit 9, man. We'll be done with this one heavy breakdown.
Verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent.
What is that? What's that old serpent?
So like that serpent that was in the garden. The spirit of the serpent that was in the garden.
Spirit of
the devil.
Which is
the white man.
There you go. Keep going.
Called the devil and Satan.
What's a devil?
So like a deceiver.
A deceiver. Now, here's the part where the preacher wants to step in and be like, see, I got you. Watch this. Go ahead.
Which deceiveth the whole world.
Go back after devil.
And Satan.
Now, preacher gonna step up and say, see, I told you, y'all know what y'all talking about. Look, bro, when it's saying Satan, for one, there's no angel in the Bible recorded that went against what the Most High ever said.
Right.
Not one. If a preacher ever come to you, be like, Satan went to war with God. If he went to war with God, how did God let him back in and had a council in heaven?
Right.
That makes no sense. In Job, that happened. So here, when it's saying Satan, it's talking about the spirit of him. It's talking about the spirit of him, meaning like basically how all these are examples to describe the white man.
Right.
That's all that is. That's all that is.
So why the separation of devil and Satan? Same spirit.
What's the definition of the devil?
Oh, I have looked as if I was told it was deceived.
Exactly. So why would they say old serpent? Mm-hmm.
I guess that was metaphor
For
someone slimed or grabbed.
well, in Genesis,
to a snake.
In Genesis is well. No, don't get it twisted.
No, I'm saying they're attached like backstab and some people
right.
Serpent to a snake.
Right. But it's the spirit of a white man, right? Okay, because you look at a serpent in Genesis, it was not an actual snake came up, talked to Eve. It was talking about one of the most subtle beasts on the field, meaning one of the most conniving, sneakiest, lying dudes came up to Eve and started talking to her. Everybody was black, right? But it was the spirit of a white man. Because then you look at Cain and Abel. You see the spirit again. Then he actually gets marked,
right,
and gets his color taken away. How do we know that? Because you say, I'm marked. They're going to know what I did. How will somebody know you did and you in another land? Because you was marked. All right? So then you even go to Jacob and Esau. Literally tells you that he was hairy like a garment. I mean, red, hairy like a garment all over. You constantly seeing the spirit of the white man all through the Bible. So now it's just giving you a description. That's because you have to, if you look at it like, why is the word devil and Satan separated? Why is old serpent in it? So now you have to see that if it was talking specifically, like we talking like let's say I'm playing devil's advocate, figure of speech. Let's say that we talking about same thing the preacher's saying. And he's saying, well, that's Satan. Why didn't it just say Satan? Why does it say Satan? Why does it say devil? Satan. It's giving you descriptions of who this person is. You know what I'm saying?
So, serpent, deceive, devil means deceive. What Satan is on entity because he's the angel.
Right, he is, but in this context, it's giving you a description of like the way the white man is thinking, acting. Because Satan has a job. He's not like the Lord ain't looking at him like he's a bad guy. He's doing what he was chosen to do. Like he's coming at us like, Lord, he ain't worthy. I can prove it. Watch this. I can prove it. That same determination to prove that you're wrong in something, that same spirit is with Esau, but it's evil. You know what I'm saying? He's doing something that it's almost describing him doing something that he ain't got no business doing. You know what I'm saying? He's like an old serpent, spirit of white man, connive, shade. He's like a devil. Devil's light. Bring up Satan, spirit of is evil. You know what I'm saying? So it's giving you all these descriptions to let you know who he is in the scripture.
So like I was just going to say, you're talking about the old serpent. It's all three of them just really just talking about one serpent.
Right. But he was. I see what he's saying. I used to ask myself that too. Why is he using the word Satan? But when you start learning context, you'll understand it. In this context, it's a description of how Esau is. That's all. Okay, we good with that? We good with 9? Yeah, I think we good with 9.
I didn't finish reading.
Oh, go ahead. So,
start up.
Yeah, you can read all jump.
And the great dragon was, verse 9, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world.
Is what?
Deceiveth the whole world.
Keep going.
He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
Now, what's that talking about? It's simple.
That's that. Just read that part. You might say, well, Satan was fighting Gabriel, like the angels. But what you said it was spiritual, I guess if Israel can be called angel, he's something like an angel. Just
Well, when you're looking at angels, a messenger. You know what I'm saying? So like, it even refers, the Bible even refers, let me see if I can get those scriptures. It refers to us as angels sometimes. What's up?
I was just going to answer it.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, that's right.
Talking about the white man getting cast out into the earth.
That's right.
He brought the bring down to the low state.
That's right. He'd be brought down to a low state. Every religion on this earth will be brought down. It'll be getting rid of. It'll be done. Over. Because you gotta remember when Christ comes back, all that's done. It's gone.
it's like I'm gonna say that's in power because the Bible talks about how he's already it's like the basis of men which means low already. So to me like low like status or power.
Who?
It says like I think it's the last king. It said
Now we talking. Now you know we talking about Esau.
Yeah, I'm
talking
saying
about
like
his
he's
kingdom.
called, yeah.
Mhm.
It was the basis of men, basis means low.
Right.
It brings a low state.
What is hell? Mm-hmm. So hell is a place you burn for eternal fire?
That's what I was told through Christianity.
Okay, let me tell you.
I call it like an unpleasant situation.
Hell, you in it.
Right.
You in it right now. Hell is a low state, poverty, captivity. Heaven is right now for the white man.
Right.
Heaven is not a place you're going to go to after you die. You're going to be up there kicking it and you waiting on your loved ones. That's nowhere in the Bible. No. There's many, I'll tell you, just to show you, just to kill that concept of hell real quick. Of what, because Christianity done a number on this, man. The whole, for real, man, and it's cool. It's cool because, like, yeah, it's cool to ask those questions because hell is like, okay, you ever heard of Dante's Inferno? Okay, there's a guy named Dante back in the, let's say, I can't remember the date, 1200, something like that. Dante came up with this concept. It was a stanza, it was a story. It was Dante's Inferno, Paradiso, supposed to be paradise. He came up with 36 chambers of hell. This was a place you're supposed to go, get tortured, skin get peeled off, all this.
Right.
That didn't, and this happened right after the Dark Ages. So people knew the truth, and then he came and told these stories. You know, you ever heard the College of Aquinas over there on West End? That college is after a man named Thomas Aquinas. Thomas Aquinas also pushed that and pushed it through the Roman Catholic Church to scare people into, if you don't go by what we say in this Bible, you're gonna go to hell. And he came up with 9 levels of hell. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna get let me get real quick scripture, man, so you can understand. Let me get Matthew 10:28. Look at it. Okay. You know where I'm going. Hey, that's a good sign, man. I mean, you studying that, boy. And after that, are you getting there?
Yeah.
Make sure you get there. Wait for him, let him get there. We're going to get back on the subject. I just want to help this brother understand what hell is.
Matthew chapter 10, verse 28. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul.
Fear not them which kill the body. That's anybody, like, let's say, like police, rednecks, KKK. Anybody, shoot, in the world, your own brother sometimes want to kill you, right? Bible is, and this is, well, what's the letter? Is it?
These are the red, sir.
This is Christ speaking, all right? So he's telling you, don't be scared of people that can kill you. Go ahead.
But rather fear him which is able to destroy both the soul and body in SHALAM.
Read that part again.
But rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body.
Oh, right there. Now, what can kill both your soul and your body? The Most High. You know, only can destroy your soul, right? If you choose to. Now, read that again all the way out. Just where it says, but
rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell.
In where?
In hell.
Soul and body where?
In hell.
If it's hell, what's your body doing?
Right.
If we going by what the preachers say, you go to hell, when you die, you've been a bad boy. You gotta burn, you gotta get tortured, skin come off, right? But your body, how your body there, man? Last time I checked, it's just rotting up here. You know what I'm saying? Put a star by that, highlight that jump. And we got plenty of other ones anytime you need them. I just wanted to bring that out because that kills anything somebody else is saying about hell. Hell is not a place in the middle of the earth or where you go when you die. Bro, you in it. You in it. That's the biggest trick. Just like what they tell you about Christ. They tell you some white dude hanging on or in a picture looking right feminine. When Christ don't look nothing like that. Why don't the preachers ever talk about Revelations 1:13 through 15? You dig what I'm saying? I'm just showing you proof of how they lie and what the truth of the Bible is, right? So we done with that. Let's go to now. He had a question about Revelations 20:1. Let's get to that real quick. If anybody got a question out there too, man, feel free to put that in the chat. You know, check me on YouTube. I'm not savvy with it. I can see Facebook. I can't see YouTube. Unless I just miss it. Yeah, we're gonna hit Revelations 20:1. Young man King, let me ask you too. Do you know what a pit is? When the Bible talks about a pit, what is a pit? Is that a place where you're getting tortured at, burned at? What is it? No, it's all good. Okay. Now, when the Bible talks about a pit, it's either some kind of prison or a place you're trying to get out of. All right? It's like poverty, I guess any kind of bad situation or just some kind of confinement. You know what I'm saying? When the Bible's talking about a pit. You there yet? Okay, go ahead. We're gonna read Revelations 20:1.
Revelations chapter 20, verse 1. You got it.
Come.
For the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is a household.
That's Revelation 20:1.
That's like I'm in Matthew.
Okay.
Revelation chapter 20, verse 1.
Take your time.
And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit.
Key of what?
Of the bottomless pit.
We just said a pit is like a place you want to get out of. It's not an actual bottomless pit. Right. Condition. See, that's a good analogy. Go ahead.
It's a lot. Be like a garage.
Yeah. Yeah. Projects, man. I mean like gutter. No slum. Go ahead.
And a great chain in his hand.
Now, what are we talking about here? Is this an actual angel coming down with a big, huge chain? And hold on, make sure I'm saying it right. Yeah, a big chain in his hand. He's got a key to this bottomless pit. Like he's got a key to a rock, and he's gonna open it up. He's got a chain in his hand. Is that what we talking about here? What y'all think we talking about here?
SHALAM. I think he's talking about he has the tools to get out of the bottomless pit, to put you in the bottomless pit. SHALAM.
Say it again.
He got the tools to put you in the bottomless pit.
That's a good way to put it. Say it like a true Judah. Let's go. Verse 2. Is the angel a rich Israelite? La'ah says. We about to get into it though. Hold on, 1 second. Go ahead.
And verse 2. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent.
Hold up, read it again.
And he laid hold on the dragon.
What's a dragon? What do we know the dragon is? Military or peace. Okay, keep reading.
That old serpent.
That what?
That old serpent.
Why ain't we just saying Satan, man? Preacher talk. I'm talking like a preacher. Yeah, you know, I'm being sarcastic. You know how preachers are. This is Satan. We talking about if it's Satan, why I keep referring to that old serpent, devil, Satan? It's giving you descriptions of who this is. It's also saying dragon.
Right.
Did go ahead.
And bound him 1,000 years.
What you gonna say?
Mention all three at the same time. That's spiritual. Mention Satan is the individual. That's the actual angel.
Exactly. Thank you. Now you seeing the spirit of the scriptures. If it was actually talking about Satan, it'd be bam, Satan. Right. It's specifically talking about him. But if you specifically talking if you're talking about a person, which it said dragon, so it said dragon, we know Esau. So now when we know it's Esau, now it's describing him. Like I say, you gotta think. The main thing you gotta keep in your mind is your people. This is your people talking. So how we talk? You know, like where you get that from? Man, you know, Tata gave it to me, man. You know, big slim Tata, man. Right. Big long head Tata, you know what I'm talking about? That's how they same thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, lying all the time, Tata, man. You know what I'm talking about? I gotta make sure I ain't saying Tom. That's actually one of our people, man. I gotta watch my mouth. That's what I do. All right. Now, also when it said bound him 1,000 years, what does that mean?
So now, that we're gonna have him in China. We're gonna have to be in captivity.
Yeah, but does that mean for 1,000 years?
No, this means for a short period of time.
There you go. Or in this situation, a long period of time. Yeah. And what we talking about right here is really the answer, the kind of like the meat of your question. We're gonna go all the way to 6, but this is the Dark Ages. This is the Dark Ages. Now, the like 700 to like 70. I'm gonna tell you like this: the Renaissance age was right after the Dark Ages.
Right.
The Dark Ages, white people will tell you, especially in history books, they'll tell you that, oh, it was this big plague, it was this sickness. Not much of history or anything was happening at that time. Like, how's it just this huge 1,000-year gap? No, not exactly 1,000 years, but a long period of time where there's no history, people just starve, and like you don't record nothing, like nothing happened. It's just like everybody just fell off. No, man, we came into power. You understand what I'm saying? When we came into power, we ruled. That's why you see like Europe. Europe is named after Europa. That was a black one. We ruled up in Europe, up in Spain, everywhere. You know what I'm saying? For that period of time, the white man was not on the map like that. He was on the low. If you ever can look up Russian icons, look at the pictures in that book, and it'll show you exactly what the artist was painting at that time, because that's what was going on at that time. It'll show you all the black people that was in rulership. Right? It is. But you can still go on the internet and look at the pics. You know what I'm saying? But think about it. Why it costs that much? That's telling you something like that. That's some information they really don't want you to have. Because they know they put them in them G's, you ain't finna buy that. But they think you ain't finna buy that. And I got a question for y'all, man. If an angel came down and bound up Esau, what is the answer to our oppression? This angel came down and bound Esau, meaning that the angel came down, the Lord basically said it to where Esau fell off and we was in rulership. So if he was put in such a way to where he was not in rulership anymore, if we are in oppression, what are we supposed to be doing? Because see, he got his rulership taken away from him at that time.
Right.
And we came up. He's going to get that taken away from him again, but we in oppression right now. So what does that mean we supposed to be doing? It's something to think about. In order for us to even get together to be prepared for when Christ comes and for us to be in rule, what do we have to do?
SHALAM. Find the law, statutes, and commandments.
Yep, but in doing that, what follows that we have to do?
To bring Esau down, is this question you asked?
In a way, yeah. You say that. To bring him down. To where his rulership starts and ours goes up. And we come into rulership. Or we are prepared now for Christ to come.
Yes. First, we got to set up we got to establish the 140 folks, so they will be the ones ruling.
Yeah, but we got to do the first part that you said was right. When you said we got to go by the laws. Going by the laws means that we have to do what? Like, what are we doing when we go by the laws?
We're going by the laws. We just
we serving the Most High. Then you recognize that you're an Israelite. Then you do what? Zephaniah 2:1. You gather yourselves together. Gather yourselves together. Once you know you go by the laws, serve the Most High. You understand you're an Israelite. You gather your people together. How you think the Most High looking at that? They will. Go ahead.
So with this angel, would that be like an actual spiritual angel, or would that be like an individual who the Most High looking at?
As far as coming down the bound,
yeah, the bound.
That's spiritual.
Okay.
Spiritual, which led to a physical. You know what I'm saying? That's something that I'll dig. I want to guess on that. I'll dig deeper into that and find an actual answer about that angel. But me looking at the spirit of this scripture, he saw an angel come down from heaven having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. Basically, the Lord saw fit that it was time for the white man to fall off. And I want my people to rise. It was his decision. So however he went about doing that, that's what happened. But I did more than that. Let's hit 3, man. It's like you ain't spending much time on that.
Verse 3. He cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nation no more until the 1,000 years should be fulfilled.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And after that, he must be loose a little season.
Now, we in that little season right now. All right? We'll just back for real quick. We'll be right back. Right. Okay. Now, this part of the scripture also is a part that confounds preachers. This is why I say that. Okay, according to the preacher, an angel came down, wrapped a chain, and bound Satan, and put him in a pit, right?
Right.
According to what they think these scriptures are saying. So, and I've asked the preacher this before, he just looked at me stupid, was like, well, we don't know everything that happened in the Bible. I was like, you're a dumbass, like. But okay, he wraps him, puts him in the pit, and then the Lord lets him out for 1,000 years. After 1,000 years, he lets him out for a little time. So if, according to you, the rapture comes, and then we get caught up in the rapture, and then we in heaven, so then the angel comes down, wraps him up, puts him in the bottomless pit, and we kicking it in heaven, and then heaven comes down, and then Satan comes out again for a little time.
The angel loosed him too. He came back and loosed him.
Well, I was like, why he let him go? Like,
Right.
we're in heaven, so Satan got loose again. That's when he looked at me like you looking at me now. Like, well, you do have all the answers to everything. I was like, man, yeah, let me get up out this building, bro. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why we got to be understanding, being taught the truth, what these scriptures mean. So when we go down to the end of 3, and it said he must be loosed a little season, it is talking about Esau, because he fell in the dark ages for a period of time.
Right.
When the Bible talks about 1,000 years, something like that, it's not always 1,000 years. It's a period of time. So he got he's in the dark ages. He fell off for a period of time. Now he's loose for a little season, which is now. He's in power. He rules. We finna come back in the rulership. All right, let's read. 4. We go 4.
Verse 4.
And remember, this is John the Revelator seeing these visions. Go ahead.
And I saw thrones.
Say that again.
And I saw thrones.
So John sees thrones. Go ahead.
And they sat upon them. And judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witnesses of YAHWH.
Now, let's go to, and I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. What is this talking about here?
SHALAM.
Go ahead.
Disciples sit on.
No. What, let me ask you this. Who would be sitting on these thrones? Remember, John is dreaming. They're not in order. We just said that the dark ages came, Esau fell off, he's let loose a little time. Now there you go. This is the power of judgment was given unto them, meaning that this is when Israel is in power and we ruling over our oppressors. Go ahead. Yeah. Okay. Now you can't wait to throw that 144 in there, man. He ready. Hey, I feel you. But yeah, because that's actually like. Here's another thing. I'll give you a little nugget real quick. I ain't gonna go there, but I'm just gonna tell you straight up. When you see 666, this world will teach you that that's something to fear. That's Lucifer or Satan or whatever. Lucifer's a man. He's a man. All right. He's used as an example to talk about the fall of Esau, fall of the white. When the Bible's talking about the number 66 and 66 or something like that, that's the ruling body Esau has right now. That's the number of men that rules right now, though. I mean, let me go in the world terms so you understand. The 1%, the Illuminati, all that other stuff. the dudes who's really running things, that's who that is. You know who our governing body is, who will be passing these judgments, sitting in these thrones like this, which is there you go, the 144,000. That's our governing body, right? Just so you understand that. And I saw, Salaki, go ahead and read.
And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgments were given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witnesses of YAHANNA, and for the word of the power, and which was not worshipped in Salaki, and which had not worshipped the beast.
Now, what is the beast?
Salaki.
Beast with white.
That's right. Keep going. Do y'all understand what's going on right here? Okay, let me tell you this part so you don't get lost. When it's talking about, I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of YAHANNA, who would that be? Common sense. Use your common sense. Don't go deep. Which is who? Which are? Break them down for me. Who are the Israelites? Which are what?
Which
What's the three words we kind of group everybody with?
The blacks, Hispanics, and Natives.
There you go. All right. So, and these were the ones that served Christ, okay, and lost their lives for him, all right, in service of Christ. Right.
So I'm just trying to keep up with time.
Right. So you understand. Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, keep that in mind. Go ahead.
And for the word of the Most High, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon his forehead or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Christ 1,000 years.
Yeah, of course, there's Christianity, mark of the beast, stuff like that, right? And it's talking about, basically, this is talking about the ones that follow Christ. They're the ones going to be in rulership because they didn't go by the mark of the beast, right? Like this. We don't go by what the world is saying. We know that the Christ that you showing is suitable as you. We don't worship your holidays and all that mix. We're in a whole other world, you know what I'm saying, the way we live. Whole other society. Right? The world does not mean earth in the Bible. All right? All right. So, okay. All right, let's go verse 5.
Verse 5. But the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished.
Okay, let's hold that right there. Because here is where the preacher's going to tap out. He's going to tap out right here. Let's see. All right. What is this talking about? Read that again. We at verse 5.
Verse 5. But the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished.
Right there. Who are we talking about right now?
So like dead in Christ.
What do you mean by
that?
Read it one more time.
But the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished.
You can read that last part too.
This is the first resurrection.
The first resurrection. Let's take some thinking. You got to be paying attention.
This is talking about those who got martyred in the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who been martyred.
Which is what?
Which is
yeah, 12
tribes were killed in this.
Okay, what?
For the number.
Okay, you're right. I'm gonna say it like this though: 144,000 in the third. You know, the third's supposed to make it 2/3 in it. Right. Hopefully, you know, we can plead with the Most High and get more brothers and sisters in. You know, just like,
So it's not set in stone. Like,
well, I ain't gonna say that. That's what the scriptures say. But just like there was a time when Christ wanted to wipe out the Israelites. I mean, it's like Christ. The Most High wanted to wipe out the Israelites when with Moses. Moses was like, you can't do that, man. Like what would I think it's in say, is it Exodus? I don't know where, but he was basically pleading with the Most High to never leave. Like, what would all this be for? Like, what the Egyptians even looking, you know, they be like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Because they was unruly. They was going totally against the law. You know, it's like the 2/3 is set. But hopefully, when we get more brothers and sisters in. But that's what we talking about. We talking about the 144,000 in the third. That's the first. That's the first gift.
So if this third, the same third that the dragon's tail, they're trying to do when we started in Revelation 12:1. That was the first verse they were talking about the 1/3. The dragon was trying to keep.
What's that in 14 and 1? 12 and 1? It's 12 stars.
That's a lot. That made it in verse 4.
It's 4. Third part of the stars of heaven. It could be. Huh? That's a good yeah. That's a good observer. Yeah. Yeah, let's keep going. Now, hold on. Okay. And I want to say this though. Now, when it's saying 5, but the rest of the dead live not again until 1,000 years were finished. This is the 144,000. The rest of the 1/3. It's the first dead. The rest of the dead are those that come after the new kingdom is set up. Through what?
SHALAM. The resurrection.
Also known as?
Incarnation.
There you go. All right, let's go to, you understand? You keeping up?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's hit 5. No, Salaki, let's hit 6. Salaki.
Verse 6. Mm-hmm. Blessed and holy is he that had part in the first resurrection.
Now, what is that? Sounds confusing, don't it? It seems like we just talked about the first resurrection. Think about it.
So he's saying basically, blessed is he that's part of the 144,000.
Not all the way. What does it mean? Okay, let me put it in an easier way. Blessed and holy is he that have part in the first resurrection. So there's a resurrection you go through when this said, because this will throw you off, right? This resurrection they're talking about right here is while you alive. Let me ask you a question, Naki. Why y'all in all black? Because what?
The old man died.
The old man died. You understand? The person that you used to be. You kill, like you as a young man, you killing that off right now. All the things that you used to do, all the sin you used to be in, you're killing that off right now. You're killing that old dude, not little. You're spiritually killing that old man off. All right. Once you do that, you become a new man. That's why we get our Hebrew names, brothers and sisters.
Right.
They do that. They do their 90 days or whatnot. They go in on the truth. They focus on that. They learn. They get their new name, but it's not really about the name. It's about you becoming a new person. because you don't worship holiday. So like, ain't no more Christmas, ain't no more Easter.
Right.
Now you're looking at holy days.
Right.
You know better than to, because your homeboy they had a falling out with his chick over there, and she giving you the eyes. She got a big old booty. You know better than even look that way. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what that means. You know there's a penalty once you know the truth. Once you truly know the truth, and then you go against the grain anyway, you sin anyway, it's coming at you. You're going to pay for that. There's no shaking that like I didn't know. Your grace period is over. All right. So this is talking about that resurrection, that old man, being also known as being born again. All right. Let's go to I'm gonna give y'all some precept for that too. But let's keep going with it. Start from the top on 6 again.
Verse 6. Blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first resurrection.
Okay, so we know that's being born again. Go ahead.
On such, the second death has no power.
The second death has no power. Are you good? So
Yeah.
what?
I was
For being born again?
it says verse 6 is in Isaiah 6.
Let's see. Isaiah what?
61 verse 6.
61 and 6?
Yeah, verse 6 that we just read. That's not other scriptures that similar to a precept or something. 61 verse 6.
In Isaiah? No, that's not there. Look in I think there's one in Matthew. I'm gonna look at it real quick. Let's see. I think it's Matthew 18.
What's it talking? The resurrection.
No, born again. 18. Yeah, read Matthew 18, 1 through 3. Just to cover, just a precept for that first resurrection, meaning being born again. Matthew 18 and 1 through 3. Like I said, shedding your old life. That's right. That's right. Shedding your old life. Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 18 and 1.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time came the disciples unto Yahushua, saying, who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven?
Mm-hmm.
And Yahushua called a little child unto him, and set him in the midst of them, and said, verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children.
Say that again.
Except ye be converted and become as little children.
One more time with power.
Except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven.
Cop that as a precept for being born again. That's the true definition of it. All right. Let me get let's finish up 6, man. Y'all ain't answering my question. Y'all sliding. Hold up, man. Yeah, y'all try. That's Trooping the Quan. You think he's slick. I blame everything on Trooping the Quan. Read that part, Trooping the Quan, right after first resurrection, sir.
On the such, the second death has no power.
Now think about that, Aki. The second death has no power. None. Shame though. Looks bad. I'm giving you clues like a mother. If I give y'all this one clue, y'all gonna get it. Make y'all think.
The second death has no power. So the first death was being born again.
Mm-hmm. Well, hold on. Wait. The 5 is actually the 144, the third. Then 6, when you get to 6, blessed and holy is he have part in the first resurrection. That's being born again. Think about it. What's late? You got it?
Timeline. Like that's once we come to power. First step those who died in Christ.
You talking about, hold up. You talking about blessed. Now,
I guess I went up
for 5, and 5 is explained 144 in the 30. 6, you get into blessed and holy is he that have part in the first resurrection. Blessed and holy is he. So you know that's the born again scripture, right? So now you're gonna hit you're getting on to on such the second death have no power. I'll give you one hint. No. You wanna try? Go ahead. Go ahead. Huh?
He saw trying to save his judgment, he cannot bow as if he keep coming back to you.
Kwame, good? This is when Christ returns. This is World War III. This is the lake of fire. This is the nukes. This is what you don't want to be in. It has no power. You do not want to be in it. So basically what we just seen, we seen the resurrection of, let me make sure I'm right. In 5, but the rest of the dead live not again until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection. 44, 1/3, and the others will be born after the kingdom is here. Then you go to 6, blessed and holy is he that have part in the first resurrection. Blessed and holy is he that has part in the first resurrection. That's you being born again. That's when you come into the truth, right? So then, on such the second death had no power. So that means those that did not come into the truth, those that weren't truly born again, you taking part into this true lake of fire, which is the nukes, which is World War III. Go ahead. It's like death has no power. It's kind of like you died. You had a chance. You had a chance to come to the truth and be a part of that in making sure your election is sure, Lord willing. Being part of that 144, being part of that third, because you went by the laws and commandments. So you look forward to that day. When them nukes drop, or whenever all that World War III pop off, you look forward to that day because you know you've been going by what the Lord wants you to do. And you know that you'll be in rulership. Like, Lord willing, you living during that time, we all living during that time when the do pop off, you actually will be ruling. Your children will never know they'll never know to be in captivity. They slick won't believe you. Just think if it popped off, let's say in 2 months, everything pops off, time goes by, and then Christ comes, and then the 144 is established. And we go throughout the earth taking our stuff back, pulling Esau out of these rocks and crevices he's trying to hide, going by the whatever Christ tells us to do, and we go in rulership, and your little girl under 5, she will never know what captivity is. That's power. You understand that? That's true power. Now, what's this scripture say? You read. What's that part say after resurrection? And it says, on such. Verse 6. Mm-hmm.
On such, the second death has no power.
Right there. You understand what that means now? Instead of you coming to the truth, he was like, man, ain't nothing gonna happen. Man, we straight. We good. Then it pop off. Now you want to run up to them dude that was on the corner. Hey, man, what we got to do? It's too late. It's too late. When you see them nukes, man, it's your time. That's it. That's no problem. Yeah, and it's a blessing not to go through that, man. But after they do go through that, reincarnation, they reborn in the kingdom. They just won't have the up to the Most High, of course, but they won't have the stature that you had because you was part of that first resurrection. You did what you were supposed to do. You know, Lord willing. All right. So those are those breakdowns, man. That's why I said I couldn't just answer that last class just like that. That's a breakdown, man. You got to really go through there and dissect that. But no preacher will ever teach you that, and he will get confounded on what he's trying to teach you. We'll be looking at on time. Okay. Do I got time to pull out the little what's happening in Nashville? Okay. Let's okay. We gotta do both, man. Because the first one, read the first one that actually happened in Nashville. The white couple. And what we talking about is, man, in Nashville, what happened recently, there was you probably heard of it too, man. There was this couple, man, they adopted some black children. And I think one was 1 and one was like 3 or 4, something like that. And those children should never been in them white folks' hands at all. This is why. The mother dropped one of the children off at daycare. The father was supposed to drop the 1-year-old off. He goes, and this day the temperature was 90 degrees, 89, 87, 90 degrees. We call it 90. It's 90 degrees outside. This fool takes this child, man, got him in the back seat. I think he said he had a truck, a pickup truck. There's no way in hell you can forget anything in a pickup truck. Ain't that much room. Like you're in a Suburban or something, you can lose something. But still a child, you shouldn't lose that anyway. Anyway, he goes to his house. He's got the kid in there, they're driving. He goes to his house, parks the car, leaves the child in there, goes inside, calls for some kind of transportation service to take him to the airport. He goes to the airport, catch the plane, goes to some business deal or something. He got to take care of some business. He does some traveling thing. He takes an airplane, comes back. The mother is worried because she don't know the child's supposed to be at daycare. She don't know where he at. So then she goes home, finds the child, windows rolled up, in the car. It's 130 degrees. The child dead. Trying to get his CPR, right? 1-year-old basically cooked to death. Once that happened, police got involved and said, well, they gave us a lot of details and we were very thorough in what happened. No charges. We gonna find in another story what happened to this sister when I'm not justifying what she did, but she tried her best to do what she could. You got that yet up? Okay, the first one is about the white boy. Yeah, read that. This is what happened in Nashville for anybody's listening.
Infant dies after dad leaves on a business trip and forgets her in the car seat in trouble. Nashville, Tennessee. No charges have been filed at this time in the death of a 1-year-old child who was left inside a hot vehicle in Nashville.
No charges at all right?
Katira Baker was found dead Wednesday after being left in a car seat all day inside a pickup truck.
And how damn right, sis. And how old was the child?
The child was 1 year old.
1-year-old baby, man. That's not no quick death. Can you imagine like you be in the car like when you it's like you been at work and your windows is rolled up. You ain't know it's gonna be hot outside. You get in the car, when you first get in that car, you like, damn, something push you out that damn car so hot. Now imagine you staying in that car and ain't got no choice but to sit there and cook it. Keep going.
Metro Nashville police said the investigation indicates that her father, Matt Barker, unintentionally left her in the car seat in the rear seat of his pickup truck after he parked it at the family's Virginia Avenue home.
You in a pickup truck and you forget your child? That lets you know, like, that child don't mean nothing to you, bro. I don't know if it was, and this is a white man with these 2 black children.
Right.
That was money for them. You know, you get money for adoption and stuff like that sometimes. You know, what do you call it, grants and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
All kinds of little stuff. You know, like probably write-offs with your taxes and stuff, child credit, you know, whatever. You got a pickup truck. There's no way in hell you should have forgot that child. That's letting you know that child should have never been in your damn possession at all. Keep going.
At 7:30 a.m., Barker apparently left to take Quintero and their other child to daycare on Chapel Avenue. Police said he returned home at 8 o'clock and left minutes later via a rideshare service for the airport.
Now, to explain what you and Quan saying is the mother took the other child to the daycare. He got a ride from some kind of, you know, like Lyft and Uber. He got some ride like that because he wanted to leave his truck at the house so he'd go to the airport, catch his plane, and go to the business trip. Go ahead.
His wife, Jenny, left home for work in her vehicle. Later that evening, Jenny Barker went to the daycare and was told that Quintero was never dropped off.
So he's supposed to drop this child off long before he was even supposed to be going back to the house. So go ahead.
So like, I just noticed something.
Mm-hmm.
He dropped one of them off. He didn't drop her.
Oh, he had both?
So like up here it said that
I thought the wife had one.
The wife didn't have one. It said Barker apparently left to take Quintero and their other child to a daycare on Chapel Avenue.
Damn, that's even, how you do that?
You drop one of them off
and forget the other one. It's in your in the child's in a pickup, man. I don't give a damn if you got a F-350. How you leave that child in that damn truck? Go ahead, man. That shit get me mad, Salaki.
Later that evening, Jenny Barker went to the daycare and was told that Quintero was never dropped off. She called her husband and realized that Quintero was still in the pickup truck.
So now you can imagine she going all hysterical. But the baby, she probably halfway like him or something. You know, most white people like dogs and stuff like that, trying to treat them as kids. So now they finally get a child, and she probably like halfway like him or whatnot. So she going nuts. So then she's about to go back to the house. Go ahead.
She called 911 at 5:42 p.m. and she pulled into the driveway. She found Quintero in the truck and began CPR until paramedics arrived.
So now he's still on his business trip. He's still in flight. She goes home, calls 911, goes home, and then finds this baby cooked. That baby cooked to death. I'm not gonna say it like somebody just left the child in there and the baby died. No, you need to say what the hell happened, because that child should have never been in their possession, man. That's why I said, I think we was talking about the beginning of this class. Our nation needs to come together for so many different reasons, because this is just an example. If those children were left to those white people because one of our brothers and sisters couldn't handle them, then they should have went to us.
Right.
At least the U.P.K, we would have raised them. We would have made sure they would have been safe, they've been educated, they've been healthy, and they've been strong. So letting the white man get their hands on our people, this is a perfect example why he shouldn't have no kind of control over anything that we do. We should totally separate ourselves, man, because this type of madness won't happen. But we gonna see what happens, and this is why I say the society we in, this is white man's heaven. This is why I say this. We're gonna see this situation and then watch how the next article plays out. Go ahead. Is that it for that?
Right.
Go ahead.
The child was transported to Monroe Carroll Junior Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt, where she was pronounced dead. Matt Barker flew back to Nashville and arrived late Wednesday night.
Hold on, man. When that baby end up, when they find that baby, is that a day? Monday, Tuesday? Ain't no big deal. He ain't got to dig too deep. I just want to make a point. He took his time coming back. He knew what he did. He knew what he did. But he was like, oh, darn it, I left the baby in the car. like he left some bread in the oven. That's how he looking at it, I guarantee you. And then when his wife started panicking, like, oh man, I really messed up. He probably thought the baby would been all right. But go ahead.
Police said they have been fully cooperative with the investigation, which remains ongoing. The high yesterday was 89 degrees.
It was what?
89 degrees.
One more time, loud.
The high yesterday was 89 degrees.
89 degrees outside. We ain't talking about inside the car. Go ahead.
Which means the interior of the truck could easily have reached between 130 to 170 degrees.
Say that one more time.
Could easily reach between 130 to 170 degrees.
A 1-year-old in 130 to 170 degree temp. It can't move. I guarantee she was in the car seat. She fried, man. She fried from the inside out. Let's go to the next article. And as we seen, because they cooperated with the police, there wasn't no charge. Now let's see what happens with this sister. A similar situation happened to her.
I don't understand how he didn't get no charge, because he dropped one of the kids out, but left the other one in the car.
What color is that?
There's no way that you can forget a child. You know you're taking 2 children to the daycare, and there's no way you could have forgotten one child and took the other one in. You see what I'm saying?
I agree.
Yeah.
But what would have happened if that was a nigga?
Oh, yeah.
They would have waited for you while you came home and cleaned you up. What's up?
I didn't put the sex for doing the tag of the story because cousin lost 2 sons within a year span. Both died seriously smoking, not breathing. And she been investigated, but she didn't go to jail. She lost 2 sons within a year apart. Some people think like she might just lay in bed, like laid on the child and suffocated the child, but she lost 2 sons within a year, and she can get charged with it.
I guess they medically proved that. Yeah. But we gonna see. Watch this next article. It's gonna show you night and day. Well, he ain't got to. Just read, because it's worth it.
Shanisha Taylor arrested for leaving children in car doing job interviews.
Now this is a whole nother situation. This is a sister that was going for a job interview, and she did something similar. Go ahead.
A mugshot image. The mugshot image was painfully heartbreaking. Her mother struggles not to cry, tears running down her cheeks. Months ago, a homeless mother named Shanisha Taylor was arrested for leaving her 2 children, then 6 months and 2-year-old, in a car with the windows cracked and fan blowing while she was in an interview for a job in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Now, this sister was homeless. She only had a car. She had 2 children. She cracked the window and she turned the air on. Only thing she could do. We're not justifying what she did. We're not saying it's safe. We're not saying it's careful. She did what she had to do, but at least she was doing everything she could for her children not to be dying in the car while she was gone. You know what I'm saying? So she goes in for a job interview. She's homeless. Go ahead.
And insurance agent for 69 minutes. So she was in there for 69 minutes. It was about 71 degrees. Taylor also had a 9-year-old daughter who was in school during the interview. According to the kids in cars, 38 children die annually due to heat-related deaths resulting from being left in cars. It doesn't take much. When she came out, the Dodge Durango that had sometimes served as her home was surrounded by police.
So she lived in this truck sometime. It was 70 degrees outside. She had the windows cracked. She had the air on. She was in a job interview for about an hour. Not justifying what she did, but at least she was thinking about her children surviving while they was in the car. All right. When she comes out, police surrounding her car. This is a sister. Go ahead.
Taylor, 35, was arrested and charged with 2 counts of felony child abuse.
Say again.
Taylor, 35, was arrested and charged with 2 counts of felony child abuse.
2 counts of felony child abuse. They didn't hesitate. It's like, oh yeah, come on, let's go. They surround the car and everything. Let's go.
She was jailed for 10 days before she was released, thanks to the kindness of strangers who paid her $9,000 bail.
Now, she was jailed for 10 days. I think they put like this fund together to kind of like a GoFundMe or something for her bail, for her to get out. Keep going.
Touched and enraged by the circumstances surrounding her predicament, crowdsourcing fundraisers worked quickly to gather more than $100,000 for Taylor and circulated a Change.org petition urging Maricopa County prosecutor Bill Montgomery to drop the charges against her. The petition garnered more than 57,000 signatures. Montgomery has said he would not drop the charges.
So she had all these signatures to back her up for them to show to Montgomery, the judge, that, hey, she was doing the only thing she could. She did everything she could to help those children, but she had to get the job. She was homeless. She had nothing else, yada, yada, everything against her. Again, I'm not justifying what the sister did, but the sister did do what she could. It's not like she just left them in there to fry. She did 10 days in the jail. They was trying to find her. Police surround her. She automatically getting up in that jail cell. Versus the dude that and this was in Arizona, versus the dude that was in Nashville that just got her on the wrist. And he killed that 1-year-old, cooked the baby from the inside out at about 130 to 170 degrees. Go ahead.
So, you know, not to justify, but I would say, not make excuses, but 70 degrees, one of the is really not that hot.
Oh.
80, 90 degrees.
Yeah.
Sealed in.
And she's got the windows cracked in the air on. She had the fan on. She's got the air on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So she was doing everything she could. Again, I always say, when somebody in the wrong, you're not justifying what they did, but you got to look at what they was trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Versus what this white man did, and he got off scot-free. But go ahead, because I think it gives another example of what happened to another white person. They got off.
Taylor's lawyer, Benjamin P. Taylor, is working pro bono. They're not related. Taylor, who pleaded not guilty, could face up to 7 years in prison for each count of child abuse.
So now that's 14 years she's facing. Go ahead.
Her next hearing is scheduled for July 2015. She was recently granted permission by the court to see her children, who were deemed unharmed and staying with a relative. The New York Times published an exclusive interview with Taylor, the first one she has given since the arrest in March. The story goes through the lead up to financial troubles that eventually led her to homeless.
So now she hit hard times. They took her kids away. She homeless. She got financial problems. She jacked up. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Taylor doesn't sound very different from Katrina Gilbert, another single parent with children who struggled to provide for her children while attending community college classes in the hopes of getting a better job. Taylor was doing the same thing. Produced in partnership with Maria Shreveport report, Paycheck to Paycheck, The Life and Times of Katrina Gilbert, was a documentary that followed the life of a Tennessee woman who was on the brink. More than once, she was saved by subsidized 24-hour child care and allowed her to work and attend school.
Now, it's a white lady?
White lady.
All right. Now, this white lady getting help with daycare and all this other stuff. And they just showing the comparison how she's getting help and this system's trying to do everything on her own. Go ahead.
Gilbert put a human face on a nationwide problem. In Arizona, the Times said the number of children covered by subsidized child care has dropped nearly 75% since 2009.
I'm just trying to get to that part where it's a white lady did something similar and she got off. That's it? Okay. Well, still, that proves right there that no matter what you do in this world, man, and you trying to do the best for your people, and you ain't got nothing, that you got that part I was talking about? No matter, but I'm gonna finish the statement. No matter what you try to do, the white man's gonna put his foot on your neck and he gonna keep pushing it until he makes your head come off. He will never have any breaks for you. But go ahead, we're gonna finish out with this right here.
To many, Taylor's biggest crime was being poor, black, and female.
Say that again.
To many, Taylor's biggest crime was being poor, black, and female.
Being poor, black, and female in this white man's society is a crime. They just said it. I don't know how else to say that. They just said it themselves. Go ahead.
Her predicament spurred a meme. Like comparing her with another woman in Maricopa County, Arizona, Catalina Plaza, who pleaded guilty to child abuse and DUI after getting high on marijuana, leaving her 2-month-old infant on the roof of her car.
Hold up. Go back, say this again. We're going to end with this, but you got to hear this, man. Now, this woman was killing herself, homeless, turning the air on, windows cracked, not justifying it, but she did everything for her children so she could get this job interview and provide for her children. Now, watch what this white woman did. Go ahead, Art.
Who pleaded, Catalina Plaza, who pleaded guilty to child abuse and DUI after getting high on marijuana.
Getting high, DUI, go ahead.
Leaving her 2-month-old infant on the roof of her car.
2-month-old infant on the roof of the car. Go ahead.
And driving for 12 miles.
And drove for 12 miles. Damn, yeah, say it. That's crazy. All right, now what happened?
The baby was found miraculously unharmed in the middle of a highway, still in the car seat. Plaza, who was white, was sentenced to 16 years of probation, avoiding jail time. The meme, however, mistakenly transposed the ages of Taylor's children.
She left a 2-month-old on top of a car on the highway. So somebody stopped her. Like, you got a baby on your truck, on top of your car. Only thing happened to this white woman, and she was on, what did it say? DUI, drugs?
Shit, DUI, she was smoking marijuana. She left a 2-month-old on the
she was in there lit.
On the roof of the truck.
And she gets 16 years probation. That's all that happened to that white woman. Israel, we gotta wake up. We gotta wake up. But that's it with that. Man, we broke down the war in heaven, the truth about that. I just wanted to hit these couple of articles, man, so we can understand that we are in hell, man. That's where we are right now, and we need to wake up. And we need to gather ourselves together because we're the nation that desire. This World War III is going to pop off soon. You don't want to be part of that second death because it has no power. You want to be part of the truth. You want to be part of the Lord's army. You want to be part of the Lord. You just want to be where the Lord wants you to be at. Go by these laws. Tune into these classes. Teach. At least give your tithes and support this school, man. Support Commander General YAHANNA. He holding on to this truth, man, and we're going to keep it going until Christ comes. And with that, shalom.
Okay.